people injured, 3 seriously, and it's the 4th bloody attack on German soil in the past week. And the man had previously been treated for psychiatric care. He had sworn his allegiance to ISIS. They found bomb-making materials in his apartment, and he was also due to be deported to Bulgaria. And these are the reasons why you have a border. I meet these people like, we don't need a border. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to discriminate against people, but you have a border there for a reason. You have customs there for a reason, and this is the type of thing that you try to avoid. And very quickly, we talk about the censorship here in the United States of America, and now China is going so far as they're cracking down on news organizations putting out information. You can read that at your leisure, but for right now, stay tuned right after this break for more special reports.
Whether it's Russia or China, Iran or North Korea, more and more countries are using hacking to steal our information, to use it to their advantage, and we can't let that go on.
Spoken just like a former Secretary of State that put national security in jeopardy for her own selfish gain. The Clinton campaign is pointing its crooked finger at the Russians as the culprits responsible for hacking the emails of the Democratic National Committee going all the way back to last summer. John Podesta, the chairman of the 2016 Hillary presidential campaign, claims Russian President Vladimir Putin is aiding Donald Trump's campaign because there is a kind of bromance going on, as if one more fabrication of reality could sway the narrative back to the Democrats' camp. And whether the Russians actually hacked the DNC emails or if it was the Romanian hacker claiming responsibility known as Guccifer 2.0 really doesn't matter. What matters now is that the American people know how riddled with deception the DNC truly is. The political machinery propping up Hillary's campaign is quickly coming apart at the moment she should be dominating. The released 19,252 WikiLeaks internal emails that were hacked from 7 officials at the DNC have served as a battering ram, exposing an organization laden with deceptive practices on a monumental scale. Aside from the DNC's obvious favorability of Clinton over Sanders because of her gender and the jabs taken at Sanders' religion, the emails detail a manipulation of the media of grotesque proportions, relegating the DNC's mainstream media counterparts to nothing less than a larger propaganda organization. In this email, DNC's National Press Secretary Mark Postenbach says of a political reporter, Ken Vogel, "Vogel gave me his story ahead of time before it goes to his editors as long as I didn't share it. Let me know if you see anything that's missing and I'll push back." Here's the BuzzFeed News Latino coverage editor, Adrian Carrasquillo, introducing a top Democratic operative to BuzzFeed's communications director. Here are 2 DNC reps discussing sending out fake anti-Trump protesters at the RNC. It reads, "Yes, but going forward, when our allies screw up and don't deliver bodies in time, we either send all our interns out there or we stay away from it. We don't want to own a bad picture." The fallout is extensive. Debbie Wasserman Schultz gave a speech to officially announce that she is stepping down as the DNC chair. That announcement was met with this.
All right, everybody now, settle down. Everybody settle down, please. Okay. All right, we have a big program. We have a big program today. Let's hear.
And at this point, the attempt to co-opt Bernie supporters would only anger those supporters more.
My message is to Hillary Clinton, drop out. You have made a mockery of our democracy.
She's part of the Clinton crime family, and she needs to be put in prison right away. What her and Debbie Wasserman Schultz did to all of the voters in this country is unfathomable that they haven't put her in jail yet.
Hillary Clinton's followers have no problem, and they have denied election fraud.
Hillary Clinton is in a syndicate that is controlling or attempting to control all of our government, and no one seems to care about it. I care. I'm outraged. I want to defend my right to vote. I don't want government corruption.
And now, James O'Keefe of Project Veritas has gotten video evidence of the deception that fuels the DNC.
But we can't say we want to ban it. They're not going to, you got to hide that.
No, right. You got to say you're going to promise transgender legislation.
And then they can switch them and ban them all.
Well, and also we can get a majority.
The DNC is turning out to be far more of a train wreck than expected. This is what happens when American Providence is insulted for far too long. John Bound for INFOWARS.com.
My message is to Hillary Clinton, drop out. You have made a mockery of our democracy.
She's not a progressive candidate, and I don't intend to vote for her in November. I'll be voting for Jill Stein if the Democratic establishment has their way and proceeds with the coronation of Hillary, despite the will of the people being behind Bernie Sanders.
And how would you describe Hillary in your own words?
I think I'll go with Donald Trump's on this one. She's crooked.
She's part of the Clinton crime family, and she needs to be put in prison right away. What her and Debbie Wasserman Schultz did to all of the voters in this country is unfathomable. That they haven't put her in jail yet.
Hillary Clinton's followers have no problem, and they have denied election fraud.
Hillary Clinton is in a syndicate that is controlling or attempting to control all of our government, and no one seems to care about it. I care. I'm outraged. I want to defend my right to vote. I don't want government corruption.
She's the picture of corruption.
I mean, you're like probably about the 12th person I've interviewed today said the same thing.
Well, I mean, she's been corrupt since '92.
Yeah.
When Bill was elected. And now it's just getting that much worse. I mean, she made, what, $21 million from speaking to different banks and Wall Streeters?
Yeah. Well, do you think a lot of those, quote, speaking fees were kickbacks or deals?
I think anyone who doesn't is naive.
Now listen, Hillary Clinton, I didn't vote for you in 08. I voted for Obama because he wasn't you. You know what? You're a liar. You're a cheat. We don't raise our children to act this way. And you're going to further it. You got superdelegates that you bought before the election. I'm in Michigan, Hillary. We uncrowned you, you fracking queen. And I'm going to tell you what. All your superdelegates that are standing behind you in Michigan, the finger isn't on them when it comes August and November to vote. We're voting you out. We're going for a new Congress. You don't win anything because we're not going away. Our job is just beginning, and our job is to shut you down. F you, Hillary Clinton.
And all day I've noticed a disconnect between Bernie supporters and Hillary Clinton. I've interviewed probably nearly a dozen people so far at several different protests. I had not one of them told me they were going to vote for Hillary.
No. I haven't found, the only Hillary supporters I've found here is CNN. The CNN, and that's, I probably shouldn't say that, that's kind of mean, actually. But I haven't run into any Hillary supporters either.
What do you think about Hillary Clinton's support for TPP?
I think it's phony. Basically, she called it the gold rule of trade agreements, and now during the campaign, she flip-flopped to try to keep up with Bernie Sanders. She'll pass it. They're going to try to pass it through after November between her and then. If they don't pass it then, I'm sure she's going to make a good excuse to pass it. I don't trust her. I'm not voting for her. Simple as that. I'm not voting corporation.
Hillary cheats. Now, the last couple of weeks, she's not up in double digits against Trump. She's into 2 or 4 points.
Or losing.
She is losing in swing states, which has not happened in decades.
They'll support Jill Stein. Some of them might go to Gary Johnson, some might go to Stein, but I would say 80% of them are not voting for Hillary.
If they want to anoint that little effing whatever she is, we're going to lose to Trump, and it's on them. The games that they played and what they have done to us, good luck in November. You don't have our vote, you don't have our money, and Trump's going to flatten you like a pancake, Hillary.
David Knight for INFOWARS.com. Now, we're walking by this merchandising place, and we had even delegates talking about the difference between these two pictures. You see the way Hillary is portrayed out here, very majestically and kind of a communist propaganda mode. But look at what they did to Bernie's picture. I mean, he looks kind of like a cross between Bernie Sanders and Mickey Mouse, the way they drew his nose out, his lower part of his face. I mean, it's one of the worst caricatures I've ever seen of him. A striking contrast, but that's what we're seeing more of here at the delegation. And, of course, just this afternoon, Bernie Sanders gave his first speech, and as he was encouraging his supporters to support Hillary Clinton, he was booed by his own supporters. Because this is about more than one man. This is about whether or not we're going to have honest and open elections, or whether we're going to allow the party establishment of both parties to try to rig this process. And, of course, that didn't happen with the Republicans because Donald Trump shut them down. But that hasn't happened here with the Democrats. Interesting contrast. It says it all right here in these images of the merchandise. David Knight for INFOWARS.com.
Say we want to ban so they're not going to, you got to like hide that.
No, right. You got to say you're going to have common sense gun legislation.
And then they'd switch them and ban them all. But Hillary would support banning guns, right? Okay, I didn't know what her position was.
Yeah, I think, well, she doesn't take any positions that are too terribly extreme. And I think that...
Publicly.
Right. I think it's a moderate, like, well, we just want to have common sense legislation so that our children are safe.
Yeah.
You say shit like that, and then people like
Rob Dew with INFOWARS.com reporting just outside Independence Hall, and we ran we're in the park over here, James O'Keefe, master confronter, master hidden camera artist, just really an activist taking it to the next level. And you had a confrontation this morning, so tell us all about it.
Yeah, we caught this Hillary delegate on tape. Mary Bayer is her name, and she says on hidden camera, she's a delegate for Hillary Clinton, she says the way to ban all guns is to tell people that you want common sense gun legislation. And she says, quote, if you just say expletive like that, people will buy into it, unquote. So we found her at the convention, we confronted her, she took my sign, grabbed it, started crying, running into the building. The cops were chasing her to get the sign, and I gave you guys that video.
This is
the quote from the video. No.
Can I see this?
Yeah, excuse me, hey, you take my, that's my property, she took my property, she's got my property, she took the property. No, that's my property, that's my property. The delegate took my property. Officer, she has my sign.
The whole thing?
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on Alex Jones right now.
Who is Alex Jones?
He's a journalist, and I'm James O'Keefe on the Project Veritas.
And so can you explain what the goal of your organization is?
It's to expose the truth and expose lies and corruption from people like you.
So you're saying I told a lie?
You did, it's on video.
What is my lie?
You said, quote, you gotta say you want common sense gun legislation, you say shit like that, and people buy into it.
What did somebody say to make you say that? Wait, was this like 4 years ago or something?
He said, how do you ban guns? And you explained how to do it.
I've never talked about this. I'm sorry. The hotel doesn't for the videotaping in here.
It's on videotape.
I'm going to need some context to defend myself.
Why did you take it? Why did you take it?
That's my picture, and you're walking around saying bad things about me. I'm a human being.
You guys have to go outside.
So, James, how do you think it's possible she doesn't even know who Alex Jones is?
Well, I don't know. She was so flabbergasted. She was emotional. She was running through the lobby. She was saying, that's my picture. That's my words. She just couldn't believe that she was on tape, and she was denying what she was in a state of complete denial.
And that she was being confronted over her own words.
Yes, and she is a delegate for Clinton, and she's describing, she doesn't know she's being filmed, but she described how they're going to get all the guns banned, and she's lying to the American people.
Exactly. Now, I like what you have. You have a shirt on here that says, I'm secretly recording you, and a hat. This is one way to get away from the two-party consent, which is in Pennsylvania. In Cleveland, it was one-party consent.
So my lawyer said, you know, you got to let people know you're filming them in Pennsylvania. So here I have the shirt, Project Veritas. I am secretly recording you. That way, everyone's got the consent. I can film everyone. There's no problem. There's no legal issues in Pennsylvania, which is a two-party consent state to tape.
Now, if you are in public spaces, you can film people secretly because there's no perception of privacy. So just keep in mind the laws out there because they are different from state to state. James, do you have anything else you want to add?
I would just say, one by one, we're going to expose all the people, all the delegates, and this is the hashtag to catch a delegate. And follow us on ProjectVeritas.com.
All right, you heard here at INFOWARS.com, hashtag to catch a delegate. This is Rob Dew reporting for INFOWARS.com and INFOWARS Nightly News.
Jackson. Tonight they're going to have families who we've been talking about that have been killed by police. But from what I understand, they're not going to have any families of policemen who have been killed. What are your comments about that?